Welcome, traders and investors. My name's Nandis. I'm the founder of Dalrymple Trading. It's Friday, the 19th of September, 2025. We're going to have a look at the S&P 500 along with WTI Crude Oil. Just a disclaimer, I do apologize. I wasn't able to put out a video yesterday. I was on the road and preparing for a few other matters. So just diving straight into it, we got the rates announcement on the 17th in the US. As a result of that, we did see the markets rally, although we did see a large whiplash here that happened on Thursday. Prices dove all the way to 65.60 level, rebounded, went to all-time highs at 66.60, and then we pulled back. And then again, we had that whiplash effect on Thursday evening Sydney time, and you can see that the prices are just trending upwards at the moment. So the current trajectory is still to the upside, right? And I've been mentioning this in all my videos. Any opportunity for prices to drop back into this range here will be bought back by the bulls. So the projection is that might see a little bit more downward movement, either into this level here, 66.25, before we push up. But generally, the direction is to the upside, back into the range, and we just go for new price discovery. So something to keep in mind, of course, is future rate cuts. So we'll see how the future FOMC guidance is going to be, but at this point in time, there's future rate cuts planned because of weakening economy in the US. So that could potentially mean more upside for the S&P 500. Something you got to keep in mind is that the S&P 500 is very, very overvalued at the moment, from a valuation standpoint. So what that means is at some point down the road, there's going to be a serious correction, right? This market has just been rallying at a probably, I would even say, unhealthy level, in terms of how, hyperbolic we're going with this market, and it's just not sustainable. But in saying that, it's not our job to call out or be, or to predict when that's going to happen. Our job is just to trade the price action that we're seeing, because we're here to make money, not to make projections, right? So at the moment, still bullish, continue to buy the dip and keep going. WTI crude oil. So what we saw on this was a little bit surprising, because we had the narrative that if, the rates were cut, we would see WTI crude oil rally. That wasn't actually the case. We actually saw prices drop. So we sort of went above the 63.50 range, okay? And then during the announcement, prices just continuously dropped. However, they haven't dropped as quickly as one would have expected. We haven't sort of dropped back into that 61.50 level. So it's quite resilient. So there's 50-50 chance prices could go either way. So what I'm predicting is a pushback up. Okay, and then at this point, somewhere in this range here, 60, maybe even up to 64, we're going to see which direction the price wants to take. Is it going to go up and try to hit this 64.50 level and then go beyond? Or is it going to push back down and then we're going to come back downwards, breaking the 63.50 again? So it's hard to trade this one at the moment, because it's a 50-50 split between what could happen, right? We clearly don't have a clear directional basis. Yes, it's to the downside, but we have to also anticipate what's going to happen next. So what is possible to happen next is a push to the upside, and then once we push to the upside, are we going to continue to go up, or are we going to come back into the range? And that's something that we need to sort of keep an eye on. One thing to keep in mind is that this trend is, you could say, is still to the upside. If we look at it from this level here all the way up, the price action is to the upside. We've seen a correction. Are we going to bounce up? So we just need to monitor this one a little bit more carefully, because it's not 100% clear where this wants to go at the moment. It's sort of not dropping as quickly as it should have, and it's also not rising as quickly as it should have. So it's sort of grinding its way along. So we just need to keep an eye on WTI crude oil. I'm not entering any positions until such time we get a very clear outlook on where this is going to be heading. So yeah, today's Friday, so wishing everyone a good weekend, and I will be updating you guys early next week as to my outlook on the markets. Obviously, trading's yet to happen tonight, so that should bring about some good information we can talk about in the new week. Wishing everyone a good weekend.